Cool, Stefano. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Digia Discord. So you went viral again, right?
Yeah, it has been quite a fine railway the last days. We went viral on X. We launched. We actually didn't launch, but this is for later probably. It was a, let's say, soft launch, and yeah, we went quite viral, almost 1 million of views.
Amazing, amazing. So to give some context, so Stefano and his two other co-founders are building Sleek.design. I also actually built a couple of things using your tool. So what we'll do is next 20 minutes, we'll simply talk about you and your journey, which landed eventually on you going viral, and why did you build Sleek.design? That sounds okay?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with your journey first, personal journey. Okay, so what has been your background? What led you to build exactly Sleek.design? Can we just learn about that?
Okay, sure, sure. So I've been programming and using computers since I was like really little. My first programming was at I was 12 years old. I started, then I went to school, university, everything. And after that, I joined a company. It was a startup. I've been there like front end lead for 3 years and a little bit more. It it was quite successfully. They just recently, let's say IPO. It was like a Web3 company, so it's not exactly an IPO, but they launched the token, and so it's something similar. Anyway, beginning of this year, I decided to left because amazing people there. I felt very good working there, but something were missing. Since I were a child, I always it, it has always been my dream to like doing something myself, like let's say something more into the entrepreneurship field. And yeah, I gave a shot to it this year. I joined Mattia and Nicolo at the beginning of the year. They already started working on Reweb for some months before I joined. Basically, was a tool to create Next.js websites using visual editing without AI. Uh, but of course, during the last year was really crazy. Like AI went from 0 to 1 billion, like the power of it. And I remember like it was 6 months ago, 7 months ago that like we were not even using cursor. Like it seems like ages are passed right now. Anyway, we noticed that the market was really asking for AI powered products because the people, after you try it, you become lazy and people want it and want it more. So the first version of FreeWeb, like let's say we pivoted and it became a kind of a designer tool. It was a design tool that allows you to create web designs or even app designs in an infinite canvas, just chatting. We launched this one in June, July, and also that was went quite viral. We hit more almost 500k views on X, and the launch was quite viral. But there was something that was not really clicking because we had a lot of customer interviews, but people were not really understanding what to do with this tool. It was too generic. We understood that it was really too generic, and it was even difficult to understand who we are selling to, like who is our ideal customer profile. We didn't know. In the last month, a little bit more, we started to get some signal from user interviews and also by ourselves because we started also to build mobile apps. We noticed that using Reweb to build mobile apps, the results, like the product felt really more powerful and the designs were really nicer. And from that, we started, let's say, this another pivot. We rebranded. We already had this domain, Sleek.design, sleeping there because we tried another project with that and it failed like very quick. But we at least we had the domain. that I think it's quite a nice brand, the and domain, Sleek.design.
Yes.
I really like it.
So, but I
Anyway,
also
we
wanted to
decide,
double, sorry to interrupt. So I wanted to double click
yeah,
on what exactly was the insight. Why did you decide, hey, yes, it was generic. Yes, you understood it. But a couple of people might have told you, hey, this is the problem that I'm looking to solve for. What was the exact insight or that you felt internally, like you mentioned, hey, this is the workflow which doesn't exist or which is currently broken that we need to solve with Sleek.design.
yeah, as I was saying, basically, we were we were using and providing Reweb at the time, and we noticed actually with session recordings, people, customer interviews, that some of them were using for to design mobile apps, and those were the most happy users.
Okay.
Like they were the one that were actually sticking with the app, and they were doing really good. Like I mean, you see. We could while talking with user, we can also see like the final product that they were building, and we really noticed that the quality for some reason of the mobile designs people were doing were quite better, and that of course means that they were sticking more. We at the same time, as I said, were starting building a mobile apps, and we noticed, okay, this is really nice. So we pivot completely. We took a couple of weeks, a little bit more, to build what was needed in the product. We really make a full-time immersion, like 18 hours a day, building in the quick way as possible. And we released it like a couple of weeks ago. And this time it seems like planets are aligning. Like I won't say the magic words, product market fit, but we are starting to feel it somehow. Yeah.
Nice. And in your journey of building this AI first, let's say, ideation tool, that is the, I guess, the gist. And how did you think about the differentiation? Because there are plugins which try to do this. That is first. And there is Figma Make also, which is the core product, which lets you build the output, which is TypeScript and Node.js based output, and then you can also copy. So how will you differentiate? Maybe there is a differentiation because I know, because I have used both of them. How do you think about that in terms of creating that raw differentiation so that, hey, people will keep coming me or for us for this particular thing?
Sure, sure. So basically, most of the tool, I mean, not most, but basically every one of them right now is doing full building. They are full building tools. Like you can name it all, Rourke, A0 for the mobile apps, vibe code, or for the standard web apps, there is Lovable, B0, and so on. They allow you to build a full mobile app or a website. Even for Figma is the same. We wanted to take all these into a different uh, angle, and also a different user experience, because we place us before you are designed before you want to actually build. You are in the phase of iterating, and before the MVP, you have the idea. You don't really know how you want it to be shaped, and also you don't want to hire a designer. Like a lot of customers told us that one pain they had is that they wanted to build an app, but they had to hire a designer, and you had to go to back and forth. It really lasts a lot of times. The power of our tool is that you can really see and visualize everything in really minutes, and you can iterate. It's very fast. While the other tools, you build a complete app. So even if you have to go to a single change, it takes time. So you have to rebuild and everything. We can have parallel, a lot of screen, a lot of designs, and just by chatting, you can iterate on them, and yeah,
Fair enough.
see every changes.
Fair enough. And in terms of ICP, from what I understand, are you currently targeting non-designers who want to design, or it will eventually evolve towards the earlier approach, which is start with an AI prompt journey, then you will take them either, oh yes, you can go to Figma for a very different, let's say, deeper and click based Figma level editing, and there is a middle path also, which is, hey, you can refine it further, a either by prompt, or b uh, by having some sort of editor in your product, or it will purely be an AI play and start with somebody who just wants to design something. What is your play in near term?
So let's give a little bit of background. Basically, in the tool in Sleek.design, it's possible already to like export to Figma. So you can just click and you can paste on Figma and you have it there. You can export to code. It's HTML or React. And you can also get a pre-made prompt that you can give to like AI tools, Claude, Cursor, and so on, and it will basically tell them all the instruction to build the actual working app starting from the design. Say this. Um, say this. What was the question?
Question is, will you evolve towards becoming a Figma all
Sorry.
in one? Become an editor end to end, or it will always be a
Oh
prompt?
yeah. Correct. Basically, the funny thing is that we already have like a lot of editor capability advanced.
Oh,
And that was the pain of the previous app because it was too, so complicated, so advanced that all the users that came probably didn't understand it, and they churned, they didn't convert because as I said, we already have the code doing this, but we get rid of that because the user we are targeting right now in the market we are targeting right now is for a user that doesn't need that. And
fair enough.
the winning move we had, I think, is that from Reweb, on Reweb we had basically, it was a little bit more complicated. You had on each screen you had a separate chat where you could talk with the single component in the canvas, while on Sleek right now there is just one single chat. The user just type in the chat and he could say, okay, let's edit the screen named home and the screen onboarding. And you don't need to explain, you don't need to guide the user because they already know, they know English, so they can use it.
Fair enough. So that helps. Let's talk about your journey a little bit more. You're currently based in Bali, right? You guys moved to Bali from what I learned from your Twitter post, X post.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Nico and I been there since September. I came here. It has been almost a month, and yeah, in the last month we really focused a lot and built a lot, and we are now going to focus mainly on distribution for the next weeks and months, and let's see how this plays out.
Amazing, amazing. So thanks for sharing your journey again, Stefano. So we do see a lot of parallels in terms of how you guys think of mobile and its design. We at Digia think about its creation and then deployment. So you are solving for, hey, how do we get design faster? We are purposely focused on how we get adoption faster. Once it is done, how do we make users adopt faster? So it's very good to see how the ecosystem is evolving, leveraging AI at the core. So that entire cycle of mobile development, there are companies now like Sleek and others who are solving for design, like us who are solving for creation and adoption, and there are new companies who are solving purposely for testing, and there will be companies who will solve for security and overall uh, in information security. And these are all the new industries which has all been made possible just because AI has just drastically changed everybody's expectation in last a year and a half. So what is your take in general, how the ecosystem is evolving? What has been your learning as a last question?
Just today, like they released the Gemini show. We tried it. It's really like 10, probably 10 or even 100 times way better in designing than it was before. Like Claude, we use Claude now. Before we just upgraded to Gemini because things are really exploding. Like every time you think we have a plateau, it's not really happening. Like. I guess we still see, but I think we didn't really get to the top. We have still a lot of things to do, and it will be really really funny.
Nice, nice. So that will be all for today, Stefano. Thanks for sharing your journey. Keep building Sleek. I'll be a very passionate user and supporter in your journey. Keep building Sleek. Take care.
Thank you for having me, and Good luck, you too.
Say, take care.
Bye bye.